I first came across antibiotics many years ago now, and they advertised this one called Inner Health Plus in Australia here quite a lot. Back then, you had to keep them in the fridge. There was no ones that you would keep outside of the fridge. But I thought I'd just give it a go. And I remember the only thing that I noticed was that my bowel movements were a lot less watery, you could say. And yeah, and then I don't think I did anything with them for years after that. It was just a sort of a couple of, month-long goes at it. Maybe not even that much. And then, yeah, when I really got into healing my gut, full on, being really focused on it, I came across some YouTubers that mentioned probiotics and how they've helped them. And I bought some very expensive ones. Can't remember the name now, but it was incredibly expensive. They're sort of advertised as being a lot better than other ones um, because they have like a slow release system, I believe, something like that. And there's a lot of different variants in there. I initially got I think it was the higher dose that I got. I think 10 or 15 million, a billion per tablet, something like that. And I tried half of one of these tablets, and it was really I really got a lot of emotional stuff from it. I remember just getting super depressed when I would take them, really lethargic, no energy, lots of brain fog and stuff. And I read about that in a book, the GAPS diet book, Gut and Physiology Syndrome. There's a couple of them. And she talks about all this and how you can have die-off reactions if you eat, especially people with unbalanced guts, they can have die-off reactions when they take probiotics or they take probiotic foods. I don't know if this is what was going on. There's no way to really know if you're having a bad reaction to probiotics or there actually are, it's actually a positive thing where you have to go through a bit of hell. I have heard before that people just go through hell for a period of time on high strength probiotics and then it essentially just fixes everything. That's not what happened to me. I ended up on a very low dose of these because it wouldn't matter how much I took, I just felt so shitty. But when I went down to about the 5 billion ones, there were these little tiny circles that you could get. And they say that it's these ones, because they're slow release, they're actually stronger than 5 billion. It's just because of the way it's released into the body that gets deeper into the gut or whatever. And then it was a bit less. I noticed that my skin was a little bit better. I noticed that the same thing with the bowel movements. Yeah, and that was really it. I think emotionally it was a little bit, it's just the same thing but less. And I took these for years. I think it was even 2 or 3 years of my life that I took these things nearly every day. And then eventually, I think I kept swinging between trying to increase the doses. They say if you increase the dose slowly, you won't get the negative side effects that you would normally, but that never happened to me. Every time I'd increase it, really negative side effects. It was really bad. And this is years of trying this, so for whatever reason, I don't think it was a die-off thing because they're actually supposed to get better after a few weeks. So from there, I went and tried kefir, and I had better. It was at the start actually for about a week. Kefir was produced similar reactions, but the positive effects of kefir were very immediate. My skin was awesome straight away, bowel movements way better. Things just got a bit better very fast, but I did feel that same sense of depression and brain fog and stuff. But that's what I'm taking now is the kefir, and these other natural ones like yogurt type things, and I seem to be better with that than anything else. So what that suggests to me is that these artificial ones are just for some reason not very good for me. If I get the natural ones, then it's okay. I would suggest starting with just pure yogurt. Get Greek yogurt with no additives, low sugar. It takes a while to get used to the bitterness of it. We're all used to these sweet dairy things, yogurt and cream and stuff. But true probiotic foods are actually quite bitter or sour, you could say. But you get used to it. Eventually, you do kind of like it. It takes a week or so. The kefir now, I do actually kind of like the taste of it. I enjoy the sharpness on the tongue, and it does seem to have an effect. So maybe start with yogurt first, see how you go, and then move up to kefir. Just do a mouthful. Just do it like that. Keep because if you do, when I first got it, I did heaps, and it did affect me negatively. Now, after a couple of weeks, it does seem a bit better. Um, it doesn't affect me as negatively, if at all, and I can take quite a bit of it, it seems. So we'll see how this goes. There's a lot of reports of people being completely healed by kefir. It takes them a few months, but they say that they can go back to eating anything, no foods bother them, and that just takes a few months. I've had these gut and skin and everything issues for many, many years. It's hard to believe that something as simple as kefir would fix it, but I don't care. I'm willing to give it a go. I've tried everything else. So that's my thoughts on probiotics, the artificial and the natural ones. I hope you got something out of it, guys. Cheers. Thanks.